The private dining hall, an opulent space hidden in the rear of Luell, was filled with the soft murmur of discussion. Candlelight sparkled off the exquisite crystal glasses and polished cutlery in the city's most upscale restaurant. It was meant to be a night of celebration. Everyone was gathered around the long mahogany table, bathed in a golden glow. Years of marriage, countless memories, a future forged together or so I thought. I sat there, circling the deep red wine in my glass, with a faint smile. Sabrina leaned over to whisper something to her father, Charles Fairmont, who let out a low laugh. He made a noise under his breath that twisted my stomach, but I dismissed it. It was our anniversary. Maybe he was finally warming up to me. Maybe this was the start of a new chapter. Maybe I should have known better. A server approached, holding a silver tray. On it sat a neatly wrapped parcel. Confused, I set down my drink. Sabrina stood beside me, her napkin falling to the floor as she accepted the package. She didn't even notice. Her posture shifted. Her smile, elegant but sharp, hid something darker. Raising her champagne flute, she tapped it with her fork. The room fell still. 100 eyes turned toward us, expecting a toast. And they got one. "We're done," she said. Her voice cut through the air like a blade. "Happy anniversary!" I blinked. My eyes dropped to the envelope in my hand. Her eyes sparkled, cold, gleeful. Divorce papers. The moment had been meticulously planned. Gasps rippled through the room. Unease spread like wildfire. I could barely hear her voice over the roar in my ears. Then came her final blow, a smirk. Vicious and gleaming. "Oh, and by the way," she added, "Daddy promoted Marcus. Yes, Marcus. My ex, Marcus. The same man she used to cry over when we started dating. The same man who couldn't hold a job for more than a year." Charles loomed above me, smug and triumphant. "Pack your trash," he said. "Clean out your desk tomorrow morning." Around me, supposed friends, business partners, and distant family members shifted uncomfortably. Some stared at their plates. Others, like Charles and Sabrina, whispered behind cupped hands, not even bothering to hide their laughter. And me? I stood there, an envelope in one hand, humiliation in the other. The sting of betrayal soaked my skin. I saw amusement on some faces, sympathy on others. I'd been publicly discarded, like a broken toy no longer wanted by the spoiled child who once cried for it. My hands trembled, but not from sadness. No. Something else stirred inside me, cold, deliberate, controlled. Straightened my jacket, placed the envelope back on the silver tray, and gave the table a dry, humorless smile. Then I turned and walked out. The marble floor echoed with each of my steps. Let them whisper. Let them laugh. It wouldn't last. Outside, the night was brisk. The city lights flickered, streams of crimson and gold against a black sky. They thought they'd buried me tonight. Thought they'd embarrassed me. They had no idea who I was. They saw the suit, the smiles, the politeness. But they didn't know the man beneath the tailoring. Love, loyalty. Those were the things I believed in, and they had turned toxic. I wasn't going home that night. Home wasn't a place anymore. It was a stage Sabrina had dressed up for years, filled with expensive furniture and hollow promises. No, I took a different path. 2 streets away, my driver Ellis waited, a man who knew better than to ask questions. "Office," I said as I slipped into the back seat. Not the Fairmont one. The real one. The SUV pulled away from the glowing skyline. We drove past the hotels, past the luxury, and into the industrial district. We stopped outside a quiet warehouse. No sign, no branding, just a buzzing security light above a steel door. I entered the code. The door thudded shut behind me, sealing the world out. Inside was no warehouse. It was a nerve center. Glass walls, high-tech servers, and screens humming with power. Phoenix Ventures, a name known to only a few, a ghost corporation never publicly tied to me. And yet, it was mine. I walked through the halls, my footsteps soft against the concrete floor. My office, sleek, fortified, waited like a throne. I placed my fingerprint on the sensor beneath my oak desk. The security systems unlocked. 3 massive screens came to life, displaying everything: market, trends, offshore accounts, competitor activity. Before Sabrina, before Charles, before Fairmont ever looked down their noses at me, I was already building something greater. Fairmont Industries mocked my slow rise, but it was a cover. Phoenix Ventures had grown into a silent powerhouse. Hotels, medical startups, logistics, cybersecurity, each investment hidden under layers of shell companies and legal smoke, invisible, untouchable. And now it was time to act. First, Sabrina. I pulled up her financials. She'd been quietly funneling money into offshore accounts for months. A cozy nest egg, she thought. Cute. She had no idea every keystroke she made was mirrored on a server I owned. Next, Charles. He thought his empire was secure, that his backroom deals and bribes were buried. But I had it all: contracts, emails, shady trades, all archived, all legal, all ready to detonate. And Marcus? That clown didn't need investigation. His record was already in my files. Embezzlement. Theft. A fraud held together by luck and charm. They thought replacing me with him was an upgrade? I laughed. Quietly. Coldly. They hadn't ruined me. They had handed me everything I needed to ruin them. Legally, publicly, irreversibly. I leaned, back. For the first time in years, I felt calm. They thought they'd exposed me. But all they did was pull off the mask I let them see. Now I could act. I called my team: Logan, Sienna, Grant, Logan, the strategist. Sienna, the cybersecurity ghost. Grant, the man who could move billions like a magician. We met in the boardroom. No words wasted. Logan spoke first. We begin tonight. No hesitation. We take back everything they think they own, I said, as the data flashed across the screens. I let myself smile. They thought they'd destroyed the man at that dinner table. They didn't realize they had awakened something far worse. And I was just getting started.